Okay, let's talk about the secondary roles in Lifeform. Now, in the playthrough video, you may have noticed that we mentioned at the beginning, but actually, as the game progressed, they weren't used. Now, what is a secondary role? Well, as the crew players play through the main game, they get slowly picked off if the alien player is competent by the creature itself, and obviously in a modern game system you don't want player elimination unless the game's very quick, I guess. But in our game that is not the case. The game might last 60 to 90 minutes, say, and so we were left with a problem of we don't want player elimination, we want engagement through the whole process, we don't want people sat out. So that's where the secondary roles came from. Now the first of these is the ship's cat. Now I've got to say, when I originally came up with this, I thought it was too goofy an idea to include in the main game, and I thought people would laugh. Well, your mileage may vary, but in the wide play testing that we've done, I've got to say an awful lot of people have really embraced the role of the ship's cat and have actively chosen that when the situation has occurred over the mainframe computer, which is the other role, and they've had some fun with it. Now the design ethos of the game is always going to be that for the main crew there was never going to be any hit points. You might remember from the film Alien, in the original film, when anybody ever encountered the creature, it was basically an auto kill. No one survived. They were either dragged into an air duct or their brain was exploded by the creature's inner jaws lunging out, or whatever spoilers, whatever happened to them, but they didn't have any hit points. And for Lifeform, it didn't seem thematic for the crew to track their life points or hit points in any way, take wounds. Now I've got to say, from a design point of view, the game would have been vastly easier to design if I had decided to go with hit points, but we didn't do that. We went, like with everything with Lifeform, we went for the ridiculously more convoluted and harder to test system, and that's what we have now. So back to the ship's cat. When the crew player has run out of crew and all the conditions for that have been met, etc., they then pick up a hand of action cards, which here's the back of them. The template is similar for each one. I'm not sure if the camera can pick these out too good, but you'll see that they've got a thematic title, different pictures of the cat, which have no purpose, it's just fun, and the rules that govern what each action card will do. Now, so when you die and you take over the ship, roll the ship's cat, you gain the ship's cat standee, and then you move that or disc, depending on how the Kickstarter goes, I guess, and you move that around the doomed mining starship. Now the cat starts an event. It can move down the tunnels that previously was only available to the Star Beast, the alien life form. And now I've got to say, even though an awful lot of people would like it to happen, the alien cannot kill the cat. There can't be any conflict between the two. Now, much fun as it would be for the alien to kill the cat, that would eliminate the crew, because we don't have another a pity role that you would take if the cat dies. There just isn't. There isn't any other roles that the players could take. So so that's why the alien can't directly influence anything the cat does. But I mean, what can a cat do? Obviously, it's not going to go around and picking up equipment or firing flamethrowers, which is why it doesn't use the action deck that's with the main game. What it does is uses these action cards, and they allow the player of the cat to either calm a crew member, The type of things you would imagine a cat to be doing. Hiss and growl alarmingly, but it can also do some other things, like claw a membranous egg wall. This allows it to thwart some of the activities that the alien's been doing regarding like cocooning or hibernating, etc. It can find small maintenance alcoves. It can get its paws on the controls, which allows you to do some deck manipulation, etc. So that's basically what you've got there. It's a lot of different options, and hopefully you'll all find it quite fun. And the difference between that and the ship's mainframe is that the mainframe has a slightly larger amount of actions it can do, but its actions, probably the computer's actions, are more powerful, slightly. But the mainframe doesn't move a piece about on the board. That's the most important thing about it. So if you're the cat, you have to move about, and the other thing that the cat has to do is slightly changes the objectives for the crew, in that the cat must escape. So they can't launch the emergency shuttlecraft without the cat on board. So it keeps the tension high. And that, ladies and gents, is a brief introduction to the secondary role of the ship's cat in the game Lifeform. I hope that was informative, and I didn't waffle on too long. Thank you very much. Cheers.